Good morning to all of you out there. It's November 8th, 2021. It's a Monday. Welcome to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, and thank you for being subscribers of Cignal TV and watching us via channels 8 and 250, as well as on Facebook.com/. One News PH and on YouTube, One News PH. You can also watch us by downloading the Cignal Play app. And thank you to PLDT for their excellent home fiber optic internet service. Okay, today let's start. Before we start with our daily starter, I just want to recognize some of our viewers, particularly Thelma Mejia, who sent me a message over the weekend and informed me that the daily starter we shared last week, yung bang tungkol sa telling your partner where your about your whereabouts is being an act of respect and not control. Thelma shared a post. Apparently, that supposedly is the state that came from Angelina Jolie. Sorry na po, hindi tayo masyadong nag-iikot sa Facebook, but thank you for letting me know that that may have come from Angelina Jolie. And also for our caller or our viewer, 8183, sending us the message, for nothing is hidden that will not be made manifest, from Luke 8:17. Thank you for sharing Bible verses with us so that we can also share it with others. Just a explanation here. The stuff we share, the words we share or lessons we share are on our daily starter, are not meant to be originals. We do not take credit or claim credit for them. We either see them being posted by friends, shared by friends, or from the Bible. So yun po, no? And if you have a favorite that you feel is inspiring, do let us know. Meanwhile, for today, let's start with our daily starter, which comes from the Bible, the book of Jeremiah 29, verse 11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans for peace, not for evil, to give you hope and a future. We're sharing this with you on this bright Monday morning because there are situations and people who might make you believe that your misfortune, your challenges, or your tough situation is God's way of punishing you, etc., etc. Please bear in mind, God's plans for you are for peace and not for evil, to give you hope and the future. Many of us go through life believing na napakamalas, pinaparusahan yata ako, etc. No, that's not God. That's often the devil or our own wrong imagination. So always bear in mind, you have a loving Father, a loving God, and I bear witness to that because when I embrace that word of God, when I believed that word of God, my life basically took a turn, and I am thankful for God about that. Okay, now let's go to the front page of the Philippine Star. And the good news, minors and seniors now allowed in public utility vehicles. Okay, para po dun sa mga namamasahe, okay, minors and senior citizens are allowed to take public transportation vehicles now that Metro Manila's quarantine status has been downgraded to Alert Level 2 according to the MMDA. Mall hours will also be implemented 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. beginning November 15, and wala na rin pong curfew sa NCR, or at least that is the last information I received. Let's now go back to the other news item, the header of the Philippine Star. The Philippines urges United Nations rights body to respect state sovereignty. Our representative to the United Nations made a declaration that the our ambassador Enrique Manalo stressed the Philippines' opposition to politically motivated use of human rights and noted that country specific resolutions that do not have the support of the state concerned stand little chance of making a meaningful difference. Ano po ba yan? Essentially, our ambassador to the United Nations made that statement because yung United Nations Human Rights Group have made comments and resolutions about the Philippines and the EJK, etc. So parang sinasabi ni Ambassador Manalo, ginagawa nyo, pinag-iinitan nyo kami. Okay? And using human rights as an issue. Well, unfortunately, human rights is an issue. Okay, let's go back to the Philippine Star front page. And that wonderful photo is brought to you by the Philippine Star at the Wawa Dam in Rodriguez, Rizal, where local tourists have been visiting and taking boat rides and picnics. Okay, so marami na po. There are a lot of people who went out of town, left the NCR over the weekend. I have friends who drove all the way to Baguio just to become tourists once again. So that one is in Rodriguez Rizal. Okay. And Metro mayors to decide on the face shield policy today. Okay? The members of the Metro Manila Mayor's Council or the Metro Manila Council will meet and will decide whether they will continue requiring the use of face shields. Right now, face shields are the issue because Iloilo has scrapped, the Iloilo city has scrapped that requirement of wearing face shields, and Davao has also done likewise. So chances are the same will be done in Metro Manila, probably because I think even the president has said that, in public places, wag nyo nang pasuot yung face shield na yan. Okay, so we will find out later. And let's go continue. Photo ba o statistics? Photo, vendors arrange poinsettia plants for sale along White Plains Avenue in Quezon City. As you very well know, poinsettias are a crowd favorite in display and arrangements or interiors when Christmas season arrives. Pero yan, titingnan ninyo, parang liliit na yan. Nako po, ang mamahal niyan. Okay, kainin ko na lang. Anyway, and then we have the tally of cases. Okay, warning, heads up. Confirmed cases 2,605. Last weekend, 1,000 something lang. 1,005 ba yun or something? Now it's 2,605 over the weekend. And the number of people dying from COVID-19 remains at 3 digits, 191. And like I said, we will breach the 43,000. So ayan po, nag-44,430 na ang namatay na mga Pilipino due to COVID-19. Okay, let's go back to the front page. Senators slam no vax, no cash transfer proposal of the Department of Interior and Local Government. Proposal pala ang naman. It has not been imposed, but Senate Minority Leader Franklin Drilon opposed the DILG's proposal, calling it absolutely unacceptable, inhuman, and callous. Okay. So we will see if that will actually bear fruit because, to be fair, there are people who intentionally do not wish to be vaccinated. And we have President Rodrigo Duterte to welcome the arrival of 2.8 million Sputnik V vaccines tonight. Okay, yan po, no, medyo, okay, so the Russian ambassador will be there, the president will be there to welcome vaccines. Okay, and the photo, we have a photo of the uh, okay, ayan sa Ortigas naman po 'yan, ano? Yeah, less fancy, more meaningful Christmas. Ortigas Malls welcome a hopeful, brighter holidays with recent launch of the Christmas with the Stars fundraising concert and Green Hills Night Market, as well as the Ortigas Community Card. And in short, the Ortigas Malls have simplified their displays, hindi yung mga magagarmong Christmas tree lighting, etc. But they are doing fundraising for people in need. Okay. And last but not the least, Congress resumes session with 2022 budget as priority. Of course, it has to be the priority because where will we all get our money to run the Philippine government? Okay. The Congress will work on the ratification of 5.024 trillion national budget as their main agenda. Our commitment is to ensure that the budget bill, which is focused on getting the Philippines back on the road toward full recovery from COVID-19 crisis, reaches President Duterte's desk before the year ends. That's according to Speaker Lord Alan Velasco. Okay, so yan po ang ating mga balita. That's the news in the front page of the Philippine Star. And just a word of caution to many of you who are traveling, just going anywhere and everywhere, please be careful. COVID 19 did not leave the country and it has remained on the planet, so you are still at risk. Okay? In the meantime, what's our topic for today? So many people moved out, well, not moved, drove out of Metro Manila. And a number of you may have discovered that, not driving your car for a long time may have caused you some inconvenience. Some people are already saying, it's almost 2 years, I deserve a new car, etc. So I decided to invite a group of people who I have worked with in the past, who I respect highly because in terms of automotive marketing and product prestige, sila po ay top of the class. And let's bring in our guests. Apparently, I haven't seen them in a long time, so let's welcome attorney Alberto Arcilla and his associates, Ms. Lynn Buena and Dave Maria Antonio Zaballero. Okay, TCCCI family, Chevy Philippines, welcome to Agenda.
Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Okay, napakakalman nyo naman. Ha? I'm so excited to see you guys. It's been a while. Okay, wait a minute. What's that thing on the background? The all-new 2022 Chevy Trailblazer. Ano yan?
Sir, good morning, and we're really glad to be here. As you mentioned earlier, people are again starting to go out on the streets. People are again allowed to go out with their families, even the minors. So what better timing for us at Chevrolet to introduce the all-new 2022 Chevrolet Trailblazer. It's a very important product for us for Chevrolet, and we're very excited to share this with the audience because Chevrolet has been known to be a very good brand for your SUVs and for your trucks and for your passenger cars, but now more than ever, it's a very popular segment, the SUV segment, and we have this very exciting Trailblazer. If you will recall, sir, the Trailblazer was one of our more important products when we launched Chevrolet as a distributor many years ago. And we're again very excited that we again now have this all new important product that we can introduce to the market.
Okay, now speaking of markets, how has the market been, Lynn? Because Lynn, I know you're handling much of that activity with Dave, but how has the Philippine market been, and how has COVID-19 and the lockdowns affected it?
Good morning, sir. Happy to be here again. Well, to answer your question, we're happy that the market has slowly picked up its pace. So 2020 wasn't such a good year for a lot of us, but 2021 we've seen sparks of hope, and this latter half of the year, our performance has improved, and we're quite confident that we will end the year strong.
Okay, I noticed from 2020 December or November 2020, there were spikes in sales in the automotive industry. Now, are you guys expecting the same thing this year, or are you expecting more given that you're launching a new product, the Chevy Trailblazer?
Yes, sir. We're very optimistic. There were a bit of difficulty earlier this year, primarily because of the supply issue. But our principals at General Motors and Chevrolet were very kind enough to support our market. We are one of the few left-hand car markets, and they were able to provide for us the number of cars that we require in order for us to have two very important launches this year, which was the Chevrolet Tracker and now the Chevrolet Trailblazer. So the past 2 quarters has been very robust for us, and we're very excited because the market was really very receptive.
Okay, now, so Albert, you're the president and managing director of Covenant Cars Company, and Lynn is the executive vice president, director for marketing and communication services. And that gentleman to your right is none other than Dave Zaballero, the first vice president, director for product development and distribution services of Chevrolet Philippines. Now, Dave, in terms of distribution, I have been monitoring the auto industry, and it surprises me that a lot of distributorship keeps popping up. Parang, most people think, wala, talunan na ang kotse ngayon. But contrary to that impression, more and more distributors or dealerships are popping up.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir, once again. That's true. More and more brands are entering our market. And I think that is the sign of the confidence of the auto industry in the Philippine market. Despite the challenges that we've had in the past 2 years, the Philippines remains to be a growth market in this region. And that is acknowledged by all the major global brands and including a lot of the regional brands. So you might say everyone wants a piece of the growth pie here in the Philippines.
Mhm. Okay, now, Albert, let me get back to you. You are part of the Covenant Cars Inc., right? TCCI. And I recall that this year is your 13th anniversary. uh, hard to, I have to be honest, when we first started getting to know each other, me and your team, I was skeptical about the outcome because, as I said before, you guys have the penchant for picking the toughest brands. I mean, like, in the Philippines, which is ironic because in America, Chevrolet is a very respected brand. As the saying goes, there are very few country songs that don't mention a Chevy. And then in Europe, Volvo is a very strong brand, and MG, as far as UK is concerned, is a traditional symbol of strength and a really good brand. So in their home countries or continent, these brands are really great. But how has their performance been in the Philippines under TCCI?
Oh, we're very glad, sir, to share with you the. We've been together at TCCI with this team for the past 13 years, but as you may know, we've been working together for more than 25 years as a team representing various brands. But when we started TCCI, our primary focus was to introduce and reignite the passion for Chevrolet in the Philippines. There
Yeah.
was a prior distributor, our principals, and their business model was to be able to appoint uh, independent distributors in the Philippines. And we were just so lucky at that time because we were already thinking of how to expand our lineup of offers in the country. We've been doing a premium brand for quite some time. And we felt that this was a time again to be able to participate in a mid premium brand. And we were very lucky that at that time when we introduced Chevrolet, we had the Chevrolet Cruze. Thereafter, we had the Chevrolet Spark, the Orlando, then the very successful Trailblazer and the Colorado. It was with the Trailblazer that our brand Chevrolet was really received very well by the market. Because of that, we increased by at least 32 dealers. And of course, as the time went by, the years went by, our principals changed their business model, which also changed our product portfolio. So even as early as 2018, sir, we were already planning how we were going to recalibrate our our uh, our product portfolio, and we were sharing this with you already early on, and we were already slowly explaining it to our dealer partners and explaining it to the market, and they were very receptive. So even during the COVID period, that was really the stage where we were really planning to reintroduce new products, and here it is. So we're not late. We're not too early as well. We're just on time as we planned it. And 13 years after, here we are again introducing a very important nameplate, which is the Chevrolet Trailblazer.
Okay, now, Lynn, what is the secret? Because all your other competitors also bring out new models every year, and there's always all this talk about innovation, about bling, etc. I'm kind of bewildered. What makes people stay with the Chevy brand? Because in the past it was always about the big movies that featured the Chevy Suburban or the Chevy Camaro, but in this modern age where markets have changed, the pandemic has struck, and yet people still latch on to the Chevy brand. What is the secret?
Let me two things actually, sir. Our brand was founded in 1911, and we believe that we offer products that offer engaging performance, designs that make the heart beat, fuel efficient cars, cars with passive and safety features, and easy to use technology, all at a value. That's number one. And then number two, over the course of time, we are quite fortunate that we've always been at the forefront of digital marketing. So when the pandemic happened, what we needed to do was to hasten our digital onboarding, adapt quickly to the times, and here we are. We have Shop, Click, and Drive, our digital platform, to cater to those who are interested in knowing more about our Chevrolet products, knowing more about our Chevrolet brand story, and now we've launched two products this year: the Chevrolet Tracker and the Chevrolet Trailblazer, and we're off to launch a few more in the next couple of months, and it's been very exciting for the brand.
Okay, you mentioned fuel efficiency and price. Now, I think the game changer, at least for the season, this Christmas season, the first thing that's going to be on people's mind is fuel efficiency. Uh, how competitive will the Chevy Trailblazer be? And why would it be an option, a choice for anyone in the market? Is this a medium-sized SUV or a small, crossover? How do you call this?
This is a premium compact SUV, sir. It has a
Okay.
1.3 E turbo engine.
hmm Okay, so it's a 1.3 turbo driven compact SUV, premium. So when you say premium, Albert, a lot of people say pag premium yan, presyo yan. But how competitive will it be?
Oh, we were very upfront from the start when we were negotiating with our principals that we need to have a very competitive product. So with the help of our product development guys, Dave and all the rest, we were able to get a product that is very equipped, again, fuel efficient, and a very good price. Maybe Dave can share a bit
Yeah.
more about that.
Yeah, Dave,
Yes.
can you elaborate on that matter? Because trying to convince your principals is one thing, and still trying to meet the expectations of the very unique Philippine market is another. How did you come about arriving at the Chevy Trailblazer?
Well, sir, it was happenstance that we all know that there's already a trend in the market and in the industry toward fuel saving technologies. And of course, Chevrolet is no exception. And we worked with our principal to identify the features, the variants that would appeal to our domestic Philippine consumers here. And if you look at the pricing of the Chevrolet Trailblazer, the LT, which is our entry level, is 1,488,888, and the premium variant is 1,621,888. And looking at the list of standard equipment, we think that we have a very strong case to make that this will be a very fuel efficient and a very safe vehicle. Those two, you might say, differentiating characteristics are what gives us the confidence that the Trailblazer will appeal to the Filipino consumer. On the fuel saving side, Lynn already mentioned that it's equipped with a 1.3 liter turbocharged intercooled engine. It is a double overhead cam variable valve timing engine if I may go through some of the fuel saving technologies that are included here. It comes in an electric water pump, a variable flow oil pump, automatic start-stop system, and an active thermal management system, which keeps the engine within its optimum operating temperature. And that engine is mated to a CVT, and we know that a CVT delivers a lot of benefits in terms of fuel saving. Now, in terms of safety, we're very proud that there's a very rich list of safety features, both active and passive, for the Trailblazer. If you go down the list of features in our website, then you will see that the standard equipment includes forward collision alert, lane change assist, lane departure warning, side blind zone assist, rear cross traffic alert, automatic emergency braking, and then this is complemented also by a raft of passive safety features as well.
You know,
So,
Dave. Dave.
yes, sir.
I'm putting my hand in my face, ladies and gentlemen, because it just occurred to me I should have had that car yesterday, when I nearly
Oh,
killed someone backing up.
oh,
Because no, seriously, okay, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'm not embarrassed to admit this. Normally, when you're driving and you back up, you turn to your right shoulder looking behind you, I didn't realize that a motorcycle had literally, because I was about to park into a slot, I was backing up, and a motorcycle had literally stopped on the corner, left corner, rear of the vehicle. And I basically parked the rear between two tires of the motorcycle. Very small damage, but thank God he was still protecting all of us. But I could have used that all those gizmos in that trailblazer, because I mean, when I do car tests, I kind of say, "Oh, come on, this is for sissies." Forward collision alert, rear cross alert. Parang hello. But at my age, ladies and gentlemen, or if you're a newbie, a driver, it could spell the difference. All of this technology. Thank you for mentioning that, Albert. Dave, because I could have used that yesterday. Anyway, good. Sorry, continue, Dave.
Well, yes, sir. I've actually only mentioned the fuel efficiency and the
Mhm.
safety factors, but there is one more that is immediately obvious, I think, and is important to most consumers. It's of course the appearance of the vehicle, and this we're particularly proud of because when you approach the Chevrolet Blazer, you'll notice it has a very Camaro-inspired fascia. It has a
Mhm.
full array of LED lights, starting with the headlamps, the fog lights, the tail lamps, the LED daytime running lights. It will have roof rails. And for convenience, it will have a hands-free power tailgate, which I think a lot of our really busy consumers and buyers who have their hands full all the time are going to appreciate. You can basically
Oh, okay.
pop the hatch
Lili,
open by sticking your
yeah.
foot under the car.
Lilinawin ko lang po yung mga kaibigan. Sasabihin ninyo, ano na naman yan? Para namang pang mga mahihinang tao. If you have two bags in your arms, like many shopping mothers, lalo na kayong nagwala kahapon sa supermarket, you still have to put your bags down and then open the car boot or the door, the trunk, and somebody has already stolen all of your groceries. In this case, all you have to do, as Dave said, put your foot in the back end and it will open up for you. And if you restore old cars like me, yesterday I tried to open the trunk of a 1955 car. Hindi ko na po mataas. Tumawag na ako ng boy. Kayo na nga magbukas niyan. Anyway, so those are really interesting features and I love it. But can we go back to we'll go for a quick break first, and then I just want to find out how can people get their hands on this, especially those na medyo, are being budget conscious, etc. Is there a way that Chevy Philippines has worked this out? We'll be right back here on Agenda. Okay, welcome back to the program agenda. I'm your host, Cito Beltran, and you are watching us via Cignal TV, channels 8 and 250. Joining us this morning are number one, the president of the Covenant Car Company Incorporated, and also head honcho at the Chevy Philippines, attorney, munti ko na sabihin, congressman, attorney Albert Arcilla, and the first vice ano ba hindi first vice president nga ba hindi executive vice president and director for marketing and communications Lynn Buena, and first vice president and director for products development Dave Zaballero. Okay, welcome back to the program, folks, and let's talk about price and affordability, or how do I get my hands on that, because I don't know, Lynn, no? I don't know if I'm just such an old school guy, penny pincher, whatever. But is 1.488, or let's say round off na natin, 1.5 million for the entry level, and 1.621 million for the premium package. Is that a very competitive price, and why so?
We believe that that is a very competitive package for the Chevrolet Trailblazer. As my colleague Dave said, it is feature packed. It has value
Mm-hmm.
laden features. It gives you peace of mind because it has a lot of a plethora of safety features, a lot of convenience that the car offers, and it's a Chevrolet. Now, for the ownership packages, we have 22 Chevrolet dealers nationwide, and we have easy ownership options for those interested to know how they can avail of one. The car also comes with a 5-year warranty, sir, and a
Mm-hmm.
lot of service features that will ensure that your ownership of a Chevrolet is up to par with the global standards.
Okay, now, Dave, what about maintenance, etc.? Because, American brands have always been haunted by, ay, mahirap ang pyesa niyan, mahal ang pyesa niyan, etc. I think that speaks now more for the European brands than anything. But what about for Chevy?
Well, sir, for Chevrolet, uh, as you know, TCCI has been distributing it for 13 years, and our commitment towards supplying the parts for all the cars that we've sold remains. And you can rely on that commitment even for our new products, the Trailblazer and the Tracker included. Our principal, General Motors, has a policy of manufacturing the spare parts for those vehicles for a number of years, actually more than a decade, even after the vehicle has been discontinued on the production line. So you can be assured that the market can be assured that the parts will be available. It is a global product, and the parts are globally sourced. So with modern logistics, Cito, I don't see why we wouldn't be able to serve our Trailblazer buyers very well.
Well, I have to agree with that, because I mean my Chevy, my 2000 Chevy Silverado, thanks to Attorney Arcilla, still seems to have hidden parts stashed in in your bodega. So I'm a happy customer. But Attorney Arcilla, Albert, you've driven the new Trailblazer, I'm sure, being in your position. How does it drive? Because I mean, that is the sad part about COVID-19. There are no more test drives. There are no more, let's bring the vehicle to the mountains and let it speak for itself. But you being, the executive, uh, I'm sure, and I know how picky you are about cars. How is this Trailblazer?
Oh, it's a very comfortable drive. I need to premise that I compare this with the old Trailblazer, and we're very lucky that this particular Trailblazer drives like a car, rides like a car. It's a monocoque car, so it's a very elegant SUV. So unlike the prior Trailblazer that we used to introduce, which was a ladder frame, had a frame pickup chassis. This one has a car chassis and it's an SUV. So for us who are a little bit older or wants a more comfortable drive, this is the perfect car for us. It really has that comfort features inside, not only as a driver but also as a passenger, and you feel very relaxed. And again, you don't feel the bumps of the road because it's a monocoque car, and it really feels very good. I must say, this is one of the fastest growing segments that came out during the COVID period. And we're very glad that we are having good timing of offering a car which people are looking for right now. You know, people want comfort. It's hard. It's very difficult as it is to plan a trip. So you want to make sure that while you're on the trip, you're very comfortable.
Okay, when I was looking at those data, it had hill start, assist, etc. Those are features seen in European models, and they are also featured that only come in SUVs of a higher price range. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. That's something that we were really very particular about. We wanted to make sure that the reintroduction of the Trailblazer will really have the best specs possible. And if you look at the price level among our competition, we made sure that we were very competitive. We wanted to reintroduce the nameplate of the Trailblazer coming from a very strong equity, and yet reintroduce it to the market with a different flavor. So this is our way of showing the market that Chevrolet is here to continue to serve you, to continue to provide you the best possible designed cars in the market.
Okay. Among the three of you, has anyone done a mileage test? At least for our viewers who want to know. Lynn, I see you nodding your head. Or is it Dave? Who's done the mileage test and what's it like?
Well, sir, due to the mobility restrictions that have actually only recently been lifted, we have not been able to do a domestic fuel consumption test. What we have are the factory figures, and looking at the
Mm-hmm.
factory figures, on the European cycle, then this vehicle should be doing about 13 to 16 kilometers to the liter on the European cycle, which is a mixed city and highway cycle. And we think that we can approach that figure here locally, given all of the fuel saving technologies. I'd like to mention, Sir Cito, that although the car has a 1.3 liter displacement engine, it will have more than adequate power. It has 155 horsepower. It puts out 236 newton meters of torque. And if you look at those figures, that is equal to a naturally aspirated gasoline engine of about 2 liters to 2.3 liters of size. So
Mm-hmm.
you have the best of both worlds. You have fuel efficiency, and on top of that, you have power when you need it. So that's the wonder of modern powertrain technology that Chevrolet is able now to bring to its Filipino consumers.
Okay, mga kaibigan, ladies and gentlemen, just for those of you who are thinking 1.3, kaliit naman, alam po, ang pinagtatalunan po doon yung turbo. That's where the discussion lies because I've tested some engines at 1 liter, 1.2 liter, but anything in that range that does not have a turbo, do not overtake. Ganun lang kasimple yan. Pero kung naka 1.3 ka na, naka turbo ka pa, wag ka lang barumbado at tatanga-tanga ka. It is more than all the power you'll ever need. Okay, now, Lynn, I'd like to ask you because you're the lady in the house there, and you're not a small person. You're quite a tall lady, and I'm wondering, in terms of comfort, size, do you feel relaxed on the passenger seat or on the driver's seat? Because that's the next concern of other people na, compact SUV, baka masikip yan or maliit yan. How does it fit?
It's perfect for me. This currently I have the older Trailblazer, the midsize SUV, and I've always thought it's great, but it's big. This compact SUV, all new 2022 Chevrolet Trailblazer, is the exact size that I want. It has the space, it has the technology, and in terms of fit and size, it's just the right one for me. I'm 5'7", so. Uh, I
Yeah, and
think
your
it's a
husband's
perfect
your
match for me.
has your husband even tried driving that unit? Because he's no small potato.
Not yet. We'll see.
Ah, okay. Well, no, but if you say it fits you. Now, here's a question. Mahal gasolina, diesel po ba ito? It's a gas engine, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir. It's a gas
Yes.
engine. That's why we're really communicating that it's a 1.3-liter engine. So
Mm,
it may be a gas engine, but it really is very fuel efficient,
mm.
considering that it's only a 1.3-liter engine, but gives you the turbo power as you shared earlier.
Yeah, and also I'd like to, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not doing a sales pitch for Chevy, but I just want to educate the public regarding the motoring automotive side of it as a former motoring journalist. Yung sinasabi kanina ni Dave, the thing about heat efficiency, electronic water pump, etc. Pinag-aaralan na po namin yan 10 years ago, how we can just remove all of these fan belts, all of anything that causes drag in an engine, creates heat and makes the engine inefficient. So as far as these modern designs are concerned, when you put them all together where there is a internal temperature control of the engine and its power, there is no drag in terms of water pump, etc. Bumababa, it lowers the fuel consumption. Now, in terms of shifting, it's purely automatic transmission, right, Dave?
Yes, sir. It is a CVT, and although you can shift it manually in case you are so inclined, if you'd like to do perhaps an aggressive overtaking maneuver, um, or if you just want to have some fun, if you're doing some twisties and you're climbing hills, and you can shift it manually. But for all other times, for a nice, sensible, serene drive, then just put it in automatic, and yeah, it'll be very fuss free, very worry free.
Okay, what about ground clearance? Because you know that in the Philippines, people buy SUVs not for anything, but more for floods, etc. What about the ground clearance?
Well, sir, the ground clearance, I think, is at par with all of its competitors, and it will be more than adequate to tackle the kind of conditions that we see on our Philippine roads, particularly very very rough roads, or just a little bit of flooding. That's fine. That shouldn't bother you in our new Trailblazer. And we can confidently say that it's up there with the best in its segment.
Okay, let's go for a quick break. And when we return, I'd like to shift our talk to the other products. Is that possible, Albert? I know we're talking about the Trailblazer, pero gusto ko rin naman kamustahin yung MG mo, yung Volvo mo, and what it's like to be working, in an organization for this long, and what keeps you guys together. We'll be right back here on Agenda. Welcome back to the program agenda, and let's bring back our guest, attorney Albert Arcilla, President and Managing Director of the Covenant Car Company Incorporated, Lynn Buena, Executive Vice President and Director for Marketing and Communications, Chevy Philippines and the Car Covenant Company Inc., and Dave Zaballero, First Vice President, Director, Product Development and Distribution for Chevy Philippines, Chevrolet Philippines, and the Car Covenant Car Company, the Covenant Car Company Incorporated. Alam nyo, nagkakabulol-bulol na ako. It's so hard when you have three guests who represent three major brands. Now, the question is, Albert, how do you guys keep it together? I mean, I know of some people who have several brands under one roof, and you can already hear their staff bickering. And I've never heard that from your group. To complement the TCCI, I've never heard bickering in your group.
Uh, Sir, well, we're really very blessed. You've known us for quite a long time, and in many occasions where we needed to introduce not only a product, not only a nameplate, but even a brand, we've always run to you for advice, and we always prepare for any new opportunity that we have. Between the three of us, with Lynn, Dave, and some of our members in TCCI, we've been working together for close to 25 years. And it has been one step after another. We first were trained into how to represent and how to introduce premium brands. And then we were able to have the opportunity to introduce mid-premium brands, and then eventually very lucky to be able to introduce a mass-based product portfolio. I think that what has happened to the team is that we practically grew together. I, I couldn't use the word grow old together, but we really grew together, and the teamwork has been there, the respect has been there, and what I see is that even our principals see that in us. Though we have been representing various brands along the way, they know that we respect the brand that we represent at any given time, and that we give our best. We make sure that we represent the brand at the best possible way, and the market appreciates that.
Is there a brand out there that you guys have yet to capture, wanna capture, or wish you had under your roof?
uh, at this point, sir, we feel that we are representing very important brands that is giving us an opportunity to touch the segments that we can. We are fortunate that for the past years, we have always been the one invited to represent the brand, and we pitch for the brand. And among all the other people who are pitching for the brand, they seem to like the way we represent the brand. So at this point, we want to put our full attention in all the brands that we are representing. If there is an opportunity, as you shared earlier, if the plans by will be there for us, then we will be more than ready to accept it.
Okay, Dave, you're with product development and scouting around for what would be the best fit for the Philippines. Uh, what's up your sleeves as far as the next models are concerned?
Well, sir, for Chevrolet, uh, we do have our heritage models that the market knows very well. The all-new Suburban and Tahoe are coming very soon, and we know that the market is hotly awaiting these two models, which have been out in their home market for a while now, and they're really beautiful. They are really premium SUVs now, and we can't wait to show them to you, the motoring press, and the public. It will be coming very soon. In the medium term, of course, we are continuously talking to our principals about perhaps re-entering certain segments. So
Mhm.
there are products available in General Motors universe, you might say. It's a global brand which has many affiliates in many regions, and basically we are looking at all of these products that can possibly fit our market. We are already discussing alternative energy vehicles because we know that that is the way forward, and all there is a very strong demand already from the public. Not It's not just the technology push from the manufacturers, but there is a very high awareness now for the environment, which is driving the demand for alternative energy vehicles.
Okay.
General Motors is not left behind. They have plenty of options on the table when it comes to hybrid and electric. We'll see them in the medium term. In the long term, of course, we think that we will continue with of course, our heritage models. This is the core of the brand. This is what Chevrolet is all about. And then we will populate all the other segments with models that are suitable for our market.
Okay. Now, let me throw the last question at Lynn. Lynn, who's going to be your product endorser or model for the Trailblazer? Kasi tagal ko nang iniisip yan eh. Sabi ko, sino kaya ang maswerteng pamilya na kukunin nilang mag endorse ito? Because, I mean, in fairness, you did quite a good choice with the previous Trailblazer. And I think things worked well for you. But as far as the new model is concerned, who's going to be your new model for the new model?
Um, as of now, sir, hindi pa po namin masasabi kung sino. It's still in the planning stage, but we are always, of course, on the lookout for brand ambassadors who will represent our new products. As you've mentioned, we've had a good experience with three sets before, and with the Cruise, with the Trailblazer, and again with the Colorado. So
Mhm.
this is something that we are definitely exploring, and as soon as we have word about it, we'll be sharing them with you.
Okay, well, I will be shooting an email to you, Albert, not just to thank you for this interview, but also to make sure that I find the Trailblazer for the fuel efficiency test here in my garage. just,
Thank you
just
very much, sir.
kidding.
We'll be very glad.
Just kidding. But anyway, I wish you guys all the best. I know that this model is going to do very well in the Philippines, and congratulations on the 13th year of the Covenant Car Company Incorporated. God bless all three of you and the rest of your associates and team members.
Thank
Maraming salamat,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Maraming salamat, sir.
Okay, that's our guest for today. And now I leave you with our new blessing for the week. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord and whose confidence is in the Lord. For he will be as a tree planted by the waters, who spreads out its roots by the river and will not fear when heat comes. Pagpalain po kayo ng Panginoon. God bless you. Thank you for joining us today on Agenda. Please keep it here on One News PH.